I think ethics is doing what is right, even when no one's watching. It's how our actions affect the world around us and the people in it.
For me, ethics is integrity.
To me, ethics is essentially knowing what the right thing to do is.
Ethical decision-making requires beyond the rule. You need context, sympathy, and courage to be able to have the answer for the situation that you have.
Well, ethics is a set of moral principles that will govern how a person, organisation, anything like that will act in a certain situation, what they value the most, what they'll focus on.
So the first one that comes to mind for me is climate change, obviously preserving for the next generation of humans and just trying to find solutions to current issues that we have.
I think a major ethical question in the world is obviously the environmental issues that face us, particularly in how you can have much more of an effect with your environmental strategies when you have a moral basis behind it.
The major ethical questions facing the world today that I see is around AI, data privacy, and workers' exploitation.
One of the major issues is how we respond to climate change, making it fair, available, and easy for everyone to have the same access to opportunities and resources to thrive. And I saw this firsthand at my Global Voices conference, where I was able to meet a lot of people who did not have the same access and availability to address climate issues.
Ethical concern is how business, they have to balance out the profits and the environmental or their social responsibility to the community.
Particularly for logistics, it's really an international career. So obviously knowing what the ethical issues are around the world is really important, because you don't want to be contributing to those ethical issues. So something that will help me, I think, is having a growth mindset, being open to change and being open to new people's beliefs and experiences.
HR and ethics go hand in hand. It's everything. It's how we treat everyone with equality and fairness, and making sure that everyone has the same opportunities. Ensuring fairness is the main area that we need to address when I'm looking at this in a global scale or within the workplace and in HR teams. Accessibility and equity and ethics all come hand in hand.
It contributes to trust and workers' rights and protection. In my profession as an HR, I have faced an ethical dilemma in relation to unfair dismissal. I think ethics come in play when you had to make the right decision, not just say yes to the management and terminate the employee, but then look what into it, stand up for what you believe.
As an international business student, I think the understanding of ethics is more important than ever. Because back in the day, in business settings, people often focus on the respect and the trust between business to business or business to customers. We're no longer just doing business for ourselves, but we're responsible for the effects of our actions on a wider community, our customers, our environment, and our society as a whole.
I think ethics matters in the sustainability aspects of business, because they're driven by a moral code that says I want to have an impact. They can ignore maybe the massive initial cost of setting up a biofuel plant. They'll have a first mover advantage, and potentially they can have a competitive advantage too. If you have a certain moral ethic that tells you I want to be more sustainable, be good for the planet, you're going to actually be able to have more of an impact with your environmental strategies, because you'll be able to commit more to them without having to think, oh, but the ROI on this is 4 years and the other one's 8 years, but I'll still do the 8-year one because it's got a more greater impact.